Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the Philippines towards a resource-efficient green development. During the recent World Economics Forum in Davos, President Aquino of the Philippines declared three priority areas of investments in the Philippines: tourism, agriculture, and infrastructure. These are basic areas which are extraordinary potential with our quest for a green economy. An archipelago of 7,100 islands, with a population of over 95 million, we were declared the third nation most vulnerable to climate change by the UN. Each dispersed island is a unique challenge to climate change survival. Our public and private sectors are now engaged in a wide variety of climate change mitigation and adaptation programs. I would like to stress three significant projects, among others, that may show a direction for green growth and sustainable development. First is the development of the country's major river basins. Second is building a stronger resilience in our agricultural sector. And third, in an effort to drastically reduce black carbon from diesel engines in our urban areas with the enhancement of renewable energy capacity. The River Basin Development Program. Our country has 412 river basins. River basins and watersheds constitute 70% of our land mass. As the lifeblood and drivers of the Philippine economy, the rivers and their basins must be the new focus of the country's program for sustainable development and climate change adaptation and mitigation. The Philippines is pursuing this through a multifaceted strategy, the Integrated and Ecosystem-Based River Basin Management Project. Initially, the project will cover the 18 largest river basins of the country, focusing on the Cagayan River, the country's largest and longest river. The river basin and its surrounding mountains, forests, wetlands, and the diversity of flora and fauna are golden opportunities for our ecotourism. Green jobs and green growth will be generated in a wide variety of subsidiary projects along the river, wetlands and adjacent marine sectors, the mini hydro plants, small catchment basins for flood control, water retention, and offshore tidal energy. A notable program is the National Greening. It targets 1.5 billion trees to be planted in 1.5 million hectares of degraded or denuded areas from 2011 to 2016 in 5 years. As we speak, teams of Filipino engineers, technicians, scientists, and community leaders are addressing the vital interrelated concerns: watershed conservation, flood mitigation, clear water source, agriculture and fishery production, poverty alleviation, and power generation in an all-inclusive work generation. National and local government agencies are currently organizing and educating communities and individuals to manage and protect water and related resources. Climate change agriculture. The river basin development is closely tied to climate-smart agriculture. Climate-smart agriculture fulfills sustainable development goals, reducing poverty, food insecurity, and malnutrition. At almost 32%, agriculture is the largest component of our Philippine GDP. Locked for decades into chemical production system, we've become a rice-importing nation, although rice is our main staple. It is a vast opportunity, therefore, for organic fertilizer development. River basin development will multiply the number of national and communal irrigation systems and small water impounding systems. Irrigation can make a hectare of land produce 3 rice crops in a year, where it only produced 1. President Aquino in Davos expressed optimism that the Philippines will soon be a net rice exporter. By building a green resiliency in our farming methods. Climate-smart agriculture will soon make the Philippines efficient in major staples by the end of 2013. We are on the way there. Last year, the sustained growth and development of the country's crop industry grew by 4.1%. The crop subsector posted more than 51.5% to total agricultural production, which increased by 2.92% in 2012, despite the chain of devastating typhoons. Climate-smart agriculture is giving farmers better management of natural resources. Agro-technicians are among the proactive research in group farming systems. In addition, our Department of Agriculture has mobilized battalions of food soldiers to achieve sufficiency in rice and major staples under the medium-term food staples sufficiency program. Black carbon and renewable energy projects are being looked into. Metro Manila's large fleet of diesel-driven jeepneys, buses, and trucks are responsible for 70% of total black carbon emission. 500,000 public utility vehicles, mostly jeepneys, produce 22,000 metric tons of diesel soot emission a year. The Philippine Environment Monitor estimates that air pollution costs the Philippines economy $1.5 billion annually. The World Bank estimates that 5,000 annual premature deaths due to air pollution make up 12% of all deaths in Metro Manila. A project to address black soot emissions will be inaugurated this year as a public-private partnership. Black carbon has a climate change effect several thousand times that of carbon dioxide. The goal is to modify some 500,000 Metro Manila public utility vehicles over a 5-year period. Through this program, the Philippines may be able to claim one of the largest, if not the largest, per capita reduction of climate change emissions. The Pursuit of Black Carbon program and the enhancement of an alternative energy system are important programs that will create technical inclusive jobs. Ultimately, the Philippines will have to formulate a policy on fossil fuel that will make alternative energy systems competitive and bring us towards a low-carbon development alongside the safe global targets defined by the UN IPCC. In conclusion, optimizing green economic benefits, increasing people's capacity to control their lives while reducing environmental risks and enhancing natural capital. This is the blueprint to bridge the shift to a green economy in my developing country. We're beginning to pursue the future that we want for ourselves and for all humankind.
Sonny Alvarez.